It is that time yet again, and this is probably the Prydwen tier list that I'm looking forward to the most because it features the Fate characters. Where are they going to be placed? Where exactly are we going to place our free character Archer? Is he going to be placed high or is he going to be placed low? What about Saber? Let's talk about it. Let's get right into it. Now, I don't feel like going back and researching it, I'm not gonna lie, but someone let me know down in the comment section where Dr. Ratio debuted on the Prydwen tier list. I don't remember exactly if his value went up on Robin's release or was he T0 pre-Robin. I don't remember. I'm sure I can go back on my channel and find it, but the reason I bring that up is because with the buffing of older characters, it sets this precedence to where we don't want to have to, as a company, we don't want to have to keep buffing characters. So let's not have the power creep get too out of control. Otherwise, now we have to continue to buff characters, right? So with Archer, the character that we are going to be given for free, if he sits in T0 or like 0.5 or anything, obviously the meta shifts can change his positioning, but if he sits really high on the tier list, he's going to be sitting there for quite some time, assuming they go the route that I'm thinking they are going to go with power creep. But let's take a look at this. Let's get right into it. Oh shit, they did say they were moving Anoxa, huh? Herda moved down. The Herda moved down. Anoxa sitting above the Herda. What? Okay, I gotta read this change log. This is MOC, correct? Yeah, Blade's being watched. He's still being watched. Bronya went up. That makes sense. What else changed? Ardenti moved down. Silver was being watched. And we see it here. Okay, so Archer, who you're going to be given for free, the single target god. Some of the highest damage numbers you will see in the game from a character that you're getting for free is T0. And obviously with him being single target, he's going to be T0 in Apocalyptic Shadow. It just kind of goes hand in hand. Saber debuts at 0.5. Interesting. Anoxa did go up, so I did test Anoxa early before his release, and I mean, obviously being able to break enemies faster is like great because you can just apply weaknesses, but if an enemy resists a certain element that you're applying, they're still gonna resist it and you're still gonna do less damage. So that's kind of where he like falls off, I feel like. But let's see why they put him into T0. I mean, obviously being able to break enemies and reach that actual like 100% damage, right? Because you're doing 90% damage until the enemy's broken. Being able to reach that last 10% is actually massive. I want to see what they have to say in the changelog. So here we go. With Saber and Archer releasing 2 more top DPS into Fray, and as expected, both are strong. Based on our testing, we found Archer to excel in MOC and Apocalyptic Shadow, earning him top T0 placements. For Saber, we found her a little less specialized, but more well-rounded, being serviceable in all 3 modes. Archer, we had great success with Archer and found him to be an absolute beast in MOC and Apocalyptic Shadow. We feel he is strongest when accompanied by Sparkle, thanks to the SP generation and SP cap increase she provides. I now have a reason to pull out my Sparkle and use her. That is honestly incredible. We're starting him off with the partner tag. Because of this, we feel he isn't as strong without her. So he does have the partner tag with hold on. How many characters in HSR have the partner tag? I know Aglaya does. Okay, Blade. Okay, so it's more than I think. Okay. So what I want to know is where his placement would be without Sparkle. Like, I personally have Sparkle, but if you're like a newer player and you're getting this character for free, do you pull Sparkle? I don't know. So we found Saber to be significantly more challenging to play with Archer and most other top tier characters. Oh, she is like action advancement, right? I bet it's something with Sunday. This is due to the nature of her action advancement and the fact it triggers from energy, which can be gained in differing amounts randomly based on the encounter. Oh, that's worse than the Herda with Sunday, actually, because it's differing amounts. Oh man, yeah, that's tricky. That's honestly really tricky. If you've played the Herda with Sunday or another action advancer, you'll be familiar with her challenges. Only they're quite a bit more tricky. Yeah, just like I said, because of the differing energy amounts that you're receiving, playing her with Sunday is going to be very tough. With that said, when played effectively, we feel she's able to compete with the characters in the tiers we placed her alongside, albeit with a bit more effort needed. I wonder why they just didn't give her the expert tag then. You know what I mean? Even though it's kind of, it's not necessarily like with expert tag, it's something that's in your control. And I feel like knowing the amounts of energy that you're gonna get from certain enemies or like whatever the encounter is a skill in a way, right? Like knowledge, knowledge is like, I don't know. I feel like when it comes to that team specifically and it being quote unquote hard to play, that warrants the expert tag if it involves her and Sunday. Doesn't say why they moved Anox up, but I mean, I do know a lot about this character. I did test this character before he was released, and I never thought about running him as a main DPS. I pretty much just ran him as a sub DPS, but he is T0 in the main DPS role. That is nasty work. Yeah, he does have really strong single target damage though. And this is without signature light cone, by the way. This is the Prydwen tier list. This is no signature light cone. Has a guaranteed crowd control to disrupt extra actions from enemies. Oh yeah, off of the yeah, okay, I knew that. Yeah, able to use basic attack and still achieve 2-turn ultimates because of it's like follow-up basically, right? It's not really a follow-up, it's like a additional attack, but it's, yeah, he's extremely solid. He's extremely solid. His banner placement was pretty ass for me, I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I don't have the character, but he's definitely a very, very solid character. Hopefully he does get like reran soon, but maybe I feel like less of a need to pull for him now just because of like what Silverwolf can do as like an amplifier, being able to implant the weakness you choose depending on your team placement, and then obviously 45% defensive shred on the board is just disgusting. That is why she's being watched. They moved the Herda down. I want to see why they moved her down. With the introduction of Archer and Saber and Anoxa taking its place in T0, we're once again adjusting T0 and, similar to My Day, removing the lowest of the T0 performers down a rank. This time that's the Herda. I need a little bit more information than that. That just sounds like there wasn't enough space in T0, so they moved her down. Not really sure about that one. I don't know, but that's all that's changed with the tier lists. I mean, with Archer being as solid as he is, especially for people who have been playing the game for a while and that have Sparkle, you know, previously, or if you are going to pull for Sparkle, you have a deep memory of chaos, a area of the game that has been AoE focused lately. We have a single target character being able to put in work in memory of chaos. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. They gave that character out for free, so shout out HSR for that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Would you change anything on this tier list? Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.